Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back again to finish off my demo on how to mount watercolor paintings on board or canvas. Before I start, I'm just going to show you another little piece here. This is 300-pound watercolor paper. I've mounted that on the board and let it dry overnight. And then the paper is cut larger than the board in this case. And the following day, when it's all dried, I trim off the edges. So this is a nice little support that would be great in the field. It's already mounted, and the only thing you'd have to do once the painting is completed is to give it a coat of varnish to protect it from the elements. So that's that piece. I went ahead on this piece and mounted it. That was the one that I showed you the other day, where it was loose like this, pardon me, and I just sprayed it. And so what I did is I've taken this little canvas, I've picked a kind of a neutral shade here, and I've mounted it. You can see that the edges are tight. It's all had been sprayed with the varnish. And I've added the hardware. So I hope you can see that. It's all finished. But I'll show you how to mount it. As mentioned, just to step back as a preview, here's the watercolor. I give it 4 coats before I do mount it. 2 coats with the matte, and the second coat is with the semi-gloss or gloss varnish, and these are Krylon varnishes. So anyway, this is well protected from everything, and it's so what I'll do now is just show you how I've mounted these. So I take my little piece here, I'm setting this aside. Now, it was the gloss heavy gel, the liquid, this is Liquitex, but you can get different brands. And we're going to apply that to the back of this little painting. Okay, where's my brush? Now this, you have to be a little bit more careful about how much is applied. You want to apply enough gel to make it stick, but yet you do not want it to be oozing out too much over the sides, because that will show. But make sure you've got it right out to the edges. And set that down there. Okay, so here I've got 2 little bit much out on the edge there. Okay, so I've got 2 little pencil marks here, so I know where to place this so it's centered. And stick it down to the canvas. I've got some parchment paper here. I bought this at the dollar store. Don't you just love the dollar stores? Lots of things can be found there to use in our artwork. So I'll give that a good roll. I'll make sure that the edges are firmly adhered. Wipe any excess off. And now what I'm going to do is just put this piece of paper over top of the parchment paper or wax paper. Place my board over top in this instance. It seems to apply more pressure than laying it down that way. And I'm going to set this aside and let that dry. And we'll get back to showing you a couple more things here. Now, I showed you this little piece before, but I'm going to show you, it's like, I hope you can see that. It's completely waterproof now and protected. So, you know what? I would like to know your thoughts on the completion of this. Here is the method that many people are doing now, so they don't have to frame it under glass. I've used all archival products, which is very important, but it's pretty permanent once you've mounted it to that canvas. I actually lucky owner of 4 of his Scott Greer's prints, and this last piece here is mounted traditionally. Now, if down the road, if I decided I wanted to change it, it could easily be done. And so that's something to consider. And I'll show you this last piece. I finished that off the other day with the spray varnishes as well. But this one, I've taken a board. It's one of these boards that has already got the frame around it at the back. It has a little lip on it. I don't know if you can see it. And so I painted the board with just a matte black acrylic paint. And I've applied my painting to it. The corners again, were very, it's all down real tight. So that's this little piece. And so that's just another thing that can be done. So I think that's about it for mounting canvases on painting, watercolor paintings on canvas or board. And you can let me know your thoughts on this. It's kind of an interesting way of doing it, and you're starting to see, starting to see more and more out in the field where people are preparing their watercolor paintings in this method. So thanks again.